I'm going to finish the one that went off. If you care to look back at it, I'm going to put it up first and then this one. And I'm not going to put any more up today. Oh, I've got bad time. I don't know if I'll be able to even make it with some things that's going on. But anyway, Linda Moulton Howe on her program she was on the George Norrie Coast to Coast program, the one that is all over the country and other countries, and you think tells the truth against the Illuminati press control media. And it just, I couldn't believe it was coming out of their mouth. She's a Pulitzer Prize journalist, and she gets into going over to the UK in the patterns that are over there, and they can't explain or can or can't. But she's into a lot of things that make sense. And George Norrie is supposed to be telling the truth about, the media and about the Illuminati. And now I wonder if somebody bought both of them off, or they were that way to begin with. I don't know, but they sure took a twist. So did Clyde Lewis. And Ron Patton is on my friend list, so he gets all of my posts. And, what they do with it. I can't believe it. I really can't. But they're talking about, let me just say this, Linda was talking about she was trying to find a letter, and this one letter was supposed to, Richard Nixon was supposed to be the good guy, and I couldn't get the gist of this letter where it was supposed to be. She was making Henry Kissinger out to be the good guy. He was Secretary of Defense of State. He's Jewish. The part of all of this is take down of me and my dad, what's happened to me and my kids here. He was on the Watergate tape, and I've put this up, that had the gap. He was the one on it ordering a lobotomy for me if my country didn't come through with his demands. And that was what was on the Watergate tape. Now, after I'd written that book and almost killed April Fool Day of 80, I was taken illegally across the state line to Huntsville, Alabama, where in the condition I was in, I passed a background check to work for DA, District Attorney Fred Simpson, Madison County, Huntsville, Alabama. So now then, if I can get my train of thought back, I'm just going to say this. They were on last night. Linda was praising Henry Kissinger, and he was on the tape ordering my lobotomy. I put all this up. Victor Gonzalez was interning at Parkland when Kennedy was brought in at the hospital. Then he's in Atlanta, and it's a mess there. But anyway, the Kennedys are part of the Illuminati that kidnapped me, mafia. But what they were saying last night, and Linda was too, about the letter, and she was praising Henry Kissinger, for God's sake. Here's that's been I put up, and it's been in books and everything. His statement is oh God, it's early in the morning. Can I what the power? What I can't say it now because I don't like the statement. Is he's a sociopath, a psychopath, not sociopath, to use these words that control. Money and control is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Can you believe it? Anyway, Henry Kissinger, they had me on the table in College Park in a clinic there at the trolley tracks. Anybody can go back and check it out. I couldn't make any of this up. If I was going to do that, I could write a book and call it a fiction, and yeah, and maybe people would finally get I don't know. They know it's true. It's just that, I don't know. Anyway, they don't want to get involved. So anyway, I'm going back and forth, trying to remember last night what was said on Coast to Coast, but they were talking, Linda Moulton Howe and Norrie is the host, And they were talking about how good that Nixon was, that he was really a good president, and that history would clear him. And that is the biggest bull and lie ever hatched out of hell. And the good guy, I've told you who it was Ron Ziegler. I worked for him briefly up when I had the Larry Flint car. It was furnished, and I was in the campaign where they endorsed me, Hustler magazine, in '84 April for the presidency. I'd run for U.S. Congress and been flown out to his place because Larry Flint was shot by a program shooter, which I was writing about in '76, and they almost killed me. Anyway, hope you can put this together because it's been more than rough. It's not a word for it. I did want to mention this, though, in her statements. I couldn't believe Linda Moulton Howe was sell out. I began to question Norrie when he was saying some good things about the Rockefellers and Rothschilds that kidnapped me and took down my dad. Anyway, they were talking about JFK being shot and saying he was the good guy, that he wasn't mafia, that Bobby Kennedy, the reason he was shot was because he was going to find out and clear JFK's name, and that's why he was shot, that he was really an honest man, which is, they helped kidnap me, they are crooked, they killed Marilyn Monroe, and God help us if you knew the rest of it. The most sick family, and you got little old JFK Jr. came up on the Appalachian Trail, and I put this up in 93, 94, when the old trail was still the only one. They put a new one up there to Fullheart Knob off of Mountain Pass, where I was living in a hiker's shack up there. Anyone that can date that when the Appalachian Trail, that new part of it, came up there. So it was prior to that, the year before. So up the trail, after I'd spent the winter freezing and starving, up comes two hikers with backpacks, and they come up over that ridge there, mountain, came up, and I was looking at them, and I said, "You look like John Jr., JFK Jr." He said, "That's who I am." And he had the other guy with him. It turned out to be his cousin Radswell, his aunt, the sister to Jackie, married into, supposedly into royalty. I don't think they really were. I've researched it and they weren't. But anyway, they were always real close friends. Now then, JFK Jr. come up and he put his backpack down. He brought his food out, and he said he was JFK Jr. and he introduced the other friend with him. They ate, and let me stand there and look at them. And he said, "We came here to see how we made you live." And they left. And, I'm the victim in this, in my family. My sons, that when they were born, the things that were done to my children, just because of who we are, Windsors, the monarchy, the real. And that all this truth would somehow, the United States might have to cough up that they did and were responsible for most all of it. So, well, anyway, later in '99, I believe it was, JFK flew, the plane crashed with his wife, which was twins. His wife was a twin. You get into the twin thing here. And then the young man, Radswell, that his mother is sister to Jackie, my goodness, to JFK's mother. He died of, I think, a rare cancer about that time. So, what else did I want to put up? I couldn't believe the lies that they're telling, like Clyde Lewis, suddenly a friend of JFK. And yes, they do know Ron Patton has, his producer is a friend He won't be after today, I don't suppose. He has all access to all that I put up on Facebook. He's a producer, and they're gonna in my face tell me they don't say anything about me, but they're gonna say they love JFK. Um, I hope I've made it clear enough. Because right now, I don't know. You know, I know the Illuminati's in power, and it certainly feeds back to the end times in the Bible, if you believe it. The putting the chip in your and being, if you wanted to, you had to have a chip if you wanted to live and have your cash is not being accepted anymore in a lot of places, so that means you have to have a chip in you. Um, my God, if they can put a chip in dogs and GPS them, what do you think they've been doing to humans all these years? I tried to tell about it. I didn't commit the murders at Virginia Tech or Parkland or the mass murders that the United States has massed armies at San Bernardino, Sandy Hook, Columbine, Wayne Williams that's sitting in Georgia prison. I guess that's all I'm going to say.